Hello, everybody. Welcome to Canucks News you might have missed. This is a jam-packed edition. But once again, we have our man, Canucks News Summaries. Just to let you guys know, we are going to be doing some content together. We're actually going to be recording tonight. And I'm also going to be doing some content with a very special guest. I'm going to leave that as a surprise for you guys for the next video when you guys see it. But let's get into the news. And this is an episodic series that we do. So if you're a big fan of the Canucks, you want to get the news, rumors, and everything, this is the place to be. All right, right off the bat, Elias Pettersson. He went out and he had an interview. So there's this golf classic going on. They do it every single year. And Elias Pettersson was there along with a lot of the other Vancouver Canucks. And basically just talked about how he's feeling, his summer, about Brock Boeser. I guess the major talking point is that he put on 6 kg. He added some muscle. He got married in the offseason, which, really good for him. He said it was the best time of his life. It was just great. Talked about how he loved that the core is still together. It was a really solid interview. Elias Pettersson seemed pretty comfortable overall. He tried to make a few jokes. It was a good start. And, he had a tough season last year, but he should be bouncing back this year. I believe he's going to bounce back this year. I am a big supporter of Elias Pettersson. So, yeah, he had himself an interview. Kevin Lankinen has a new mask coming, and he showed it off from Daily Canucks Updates. You guys can check him out. And also TM Customs on Instagram, who actually had this posted first. And so definitely go ahead, take a look at it, check out his new mask. I think it looks pretty cool. So let me know what you guys think as well. He also had an interview at the same golf classic. He basically talked about how he's getting ready. He's not looking back. He's going to have a lot of fun. He just talked about his summer activities, partnerships with Demco, how they can learn from each other. It's just pretty standard stuff. But it is interesting, the whole Olympics part. Is he going to make that Olympic team? That's something that would be just fantastic for him. And it's pretty unique, right? So that was pretty cool. Also, Brock Boeser had himself an interview. Again, talked about the summer, just the whole contract situation. He was cracking a few jokes as well. It was great. He said he went to Italy and Croatia the night before free agency. He doesn't recommend that for anyone else going through that. He was stressed on the trip. So that's pretty funny. So everybody just seemed to be in, I guess, really good, positive spirits going into this season. Just like this channel, we want to try to keep it as positive as possible if we can. And yeah, he's been back in Vancouver. They've been skating a little bit. Yeah, it's been really good. He talked about from last season and this season. A lot of people are just trying to move forward. And honestly, he talked nicely about Adam Foote too. It was just these interviews were just more like positivity interviews, just getting prepared before training camp, which is hitting in a couple of weeks from now. But yeah, good stuff there from Brock Boeser. And then our man Canucks News Summaries again with the recap of that big Elliott Friedman interview with Don and Dhali. And this is where the juicy stuff, this is where I'm going to get into more specific detail on the Canucks. This season is all about keeping the noise down and the news on the ice. Not a lot of big contract debates this season. Hughes can't sign until next summer. But that is the most important part about the season, let's be honest. This season's all about Quinn Hughes. Got to keep him happy. You got to win. It's really important. Canucks internally think they have a hole at center. They've been talking about it now for the entire. Jim Rutherford went out and said they needed a center. They were going to do everything in their power to get a center. It would be, I think his exact words were like, it would be more expensive or it'll cost more not getting a center than getting a center. So we know we need a second line center, but can't find a trade partner. So here's the updates. Everyone wants to compete except the Penguins. This has been a lot of people kind of misjudged the market this year. No one wants futures, it looks like. And a lot of teams are just want to get better. Now, I know that's pretty obvious. Every team wants to get better, but there's always a couple of teams that would want to sell. This year, there's not a lot of sellers. Everybody thinks they're around that area, that edge. No more double retention. They have to be 75 days apart, which is very interesting. Is going to make trades more difficult around the league. As for the center market specifically, only one real seller in the Penguins. Canucks have made a lot of trades that are starting to build up their prospect depth. It is true. Our prospect depth is looking better, especially Abby, who went on that run, right? Ducks want to trade, the Ducks don't want to trade Mason McTavish. So I personally think they should go all in, do everything in their power to go get Mason McTavish. I'm not saying a 2026 unprotected first. But I am saying I'm willing to trade a guy like Tom Willander plus for a guy like McTavish. I think he would be a perfect fit moving forward. And I am a fan, obviously, of Tom Willander, but I think it would cost more. I think they're real hesitant to trade a guy with such upside. Maple Leafs were looking at Drac Roslovic as a winger. No one sees him as a second line center. I don't think he was ever going to be a second line center. He was going to be a hybrid suitor type player, just like we lost. And he's still available. Jack Roslovic's sweepstakes are still on. It's not over yet. Canucks' answer to the number two center is internal, at least for a little while. One sec. Now, there's some stuff about Connor McDavid, so if you're interested in that, you can take a look yourself. And some personal notes from Elliott. He donates his appearance fee to Canucks for Autism charity, and Don and Dhali are matching that donation. So that's amazing. Elliott Friedman's awesome, man. He's one of the best insiders in the world. Don and Dhali, it's a great show. Make sure you watch it throughout the year. Even hooked by their merchandise. No, they did not tell me to say that. I actually just love the guys. So I picked up their hat. Give them some love. And that, ladies and gentlemen, drop a like, drop a sub if you're new, if you like the Canucks news, is Canucks news you might have missed. Take care, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. On to the next one. The next video is going to be very interesting. We have a special guest.